Hi, welcome back to my channel, Fabulously Frugal and Fancy. I'm Brandy, and this is my first Vlogmas of 2022. Actually, it's my first Vlogmas ever. I hadn't really planned on doing Vlogmas this year until I found this book. It is a devotional book, and it's 25 devotions that take us through the Christmas season, helping us to remember the reason for the season and just what we should be doing during this season. So this book is called Bring on the Merry, and I'm going to bring that in close for you. This is a Candace Cameron Bure book, and I've read through bits and pieces of it, and I really like this concept. Just, we all get stressed out. We all get busy during the holiday season, and we can forget exactly why we're doing it, and we can forget who we're doing it for. And I would just like to take the time this year to focus on the meaning of Christmas and the real meaning of Christmas, and not getting stressed out or worried about, maybe not being able to afford to do so much as what we would like to do. So every day of Vlogmas this year, we're going to do one of the devotionals. Now, for each day, we have a little like a little devotional part, an actual story, and then just some activities we can do to kind of help us focus what we heard and learned. So we're going to do the reading, and then we'll talk a little bit at the end. On day number 1, it says, ready to serve. I've always wondered what it was like to be married. A young woman, unmarried, not ready to have babies. Is anyone really ever ready? Not ready to carry the responsibility and burden of giving up her body, her time, and her life for the sake of another. But when the angel visits her and tells her of her weighty task, she responds in Luke 1:38, and behold, sorry, that's the wrong word. And Mary said, behold, the handmaid of the Lord, be it unto me according to thy word. She said, I'm the Lord's maid, ready to serve. It's hard to imagine responding with that level of willingness and confidence in God's good plan. Around the holidays, we often get swept up in our own expectations, hopes, and dreams. We want our holiday parties to feel effortless, beautifully presented food, natural conversation, a white elephant exchange that balances fun with a healthy hint of competition. We scour stores for the perfect gifts that will make our loved ones feel seen and appreciated. We stay up all night wrapping gifts, nibbling on cookies, and drinking hot chocolate by the fire. Our hopes and expectations surrounding the holidays are not all bad. In fact, they often circle around making others happy. But at the end of the day, what if we are missing the true joy of Christmas? When Mary heard, sorry, when Mary heard from the angel on that fateful day, the purpose of Christ's coming was clear. Mary had a vision of service and a life marked by sacrifice. She gave herself to this life and painted a beautiful picture for women today to follow after. It's most important to notice that while Mary's response seems almost supernatural, what she did was extremely natural. She carried and gave birth to a child. It's something that billions of women have done. It's so important for us to notice this because it points to what is actually important. It's not, it's not the magnitude of what she does, a great achievement or skill that surpasses everyone else. She doesn't out-host or outspeak or out-gift anyone else. Her life is not marked by incredible accomplishments or clout. She's honored because of her obedience and willingness to say yes. Mary models a heart that is willing to serve and give her everything to God, to a God who loves her. The beauty of Mary's life is that we have access to that same incredible joy. In the midst of this crazy holiday season, what do you sense God nudging you to say yes to? Where do you feel a gentle tug to respond, I'm ready to serve? Maybe you're thinking about partnering with an organization like the Salvation Army, um, Sorry, I lost where I was. Or there's someone in your neighborhood who is in need. Are there opportunities in your town to volunteer to serve people who are sick, lonely, or hurting? Or maybe there's someone within your own family who is hurting this season. Is there someone who needs an extra dose of care or service this Christmas? Maybe your spouse is in desperate need of encouragement, or your child is in need of an afternoon alone with mom. However, you feel God tugging on your heart, know that a life of simple service is a life that is honored by God. After the angel visits Mary, she tells her cousin Elizabeth about the encounter. Elizabeth responds enthusiastically. Luke 1:42, and she spake out with a loud voice and said, Blessed art thou among women, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb. Blessed are you among women. That's quite a weighty phrase to say. That is the beauty of giving up your own expectations and hopes for the simple steps of obedience laid out by Jesus. Blessing, joy, fulfillment this Christmas. Keep your eyes open for the moments where you too might willingly respond, I'm ready to serve. That's a very good devotional. I think we all need reminders sometimes that just the simple things. It's not always doing something extravagant. We may not be able to sing. We may not be able to join the Christmas carolers or the singers, but we can all serve. And the story that goes along with this is The Legend of the Christmas Tree by Lucy Wheelock. I'm sorry. Excuse me. I've never heard this story before. The Legend of the Christmas Tree. Two little children were sitting by the fire one cold winter's night. All at once they heard a timid knock on the door, and one ran to open it. There, outside in the cold and the darkness, stood a child with no shoes upon his feet and clad in thin, ragged garments. He was shivering with cold, and he asked to come in and warm himself. Yes, come, cried both the children. You shall have our place by the fire. Come in. They drew the little stranger to their warm seat and shared their supper with him and gave him their bed, while they slept on a hard bench. In the night, they were awakened by strains of sweet music, and looking out, they saw a band of children in shining garments approaching the house. They were playing on golden harps, and the air was full of melody. Suddenly, the stranger child stood before them, no longer cold and ragged, but clad in silvery light. His soft voice said, I was cold, and you took me in. I was hungry, and you fed me. I was tired, and you gave me your bed. I am the Christ child wandering through the world to bring peace and happiness to all good children. As you have given to me, so may this tree every year give rich fruit to you. So saying, he broke a branch from the fir tree that grew near the door, and he planted it in the ground and disappeared. But the branch grew into a great tree, and every year it bore wonderful golden fruit for the kind children. I've never heard that story before. It's very heartwarming just to, we have the fake trees, and, often we just like to see the decorations and the lights, but the true meaning behind it in this story is, again, a lack of service. All right, so now we come to kind of the workbook part of the devotional. And this page, I'm just going to hold it up for you to see here. And I'm going to read to you what it says. If you have a notebook, I would just keep this in a notebook. Actually, I plan on doing these in a notebook so that I can keep this book, do it again next year. Maybe not for Vlogmas, but for my own personal use. What gets in the way of you being ready to serve? We all have so many things that go on. Lack of direction, fear, busyness, waiting for the perfect conditions, thinking you have nothing to offer. Ooh, sorry, just need to sit back a little. What are ways that you naturally love to serve? List them below. Do you like to do things for other people? Do you like to cook or bake? What are some things that you like to do? And then the next little thing, where do you see needs in your community? It has little icons and you can circle them and you can make a list below that. So maybe school, an animal shelter, homeless shelter, food pantry, youth services, a senior home. Where else can you serve? And write in those places. How can you make time and space to say, I'm ready to serve to God this Christmas season? Fill out a time management graph and add in a few hours this week to serve. So this graph has an example here. I'm just going to show you, and if you want to screenshot that, put in your time for work, sleep, eating, cooking, playing or entertainment, cleaning, and reading, and then put in a few hours each day to serve. So that is the end of our devotion for day 1 of our Vlogmas. I'm really looking forward to doing these devotions here with you every day for the next 25 days. It's very easy for all of us, I think, to get so wrapped up in our list of what we need to accomplish and what we need to get done, or maybe what we want to get done, and that we forget that Christmas is all about giving to others and serving others. And so maybe we can do that this year. Just find ways in this next week, the next few days, where you can serve and give to others. Until tomorrow, I hope you have a blessed day. Bye.